getting ready for clearance now. And Sophia is doing a taxing role as well. She's going to start. Did you get a chance to get on, Sophia? Because you love that technology stuff.
Well, I didn't get to go, but it's all right.
You can read up about it, right?
Yep.
And gracing us with her only air show appearance and her last, as she goes.
Hello, everyone. I am actually going live a bit early here because I am the Sophia craft by NASA here is about to take off behind me. So I went ahead and went live about 10 minutes early here. I'll go into the intro after this, but I didn't want you all to miss this. I'm live here from the Edwards Air Force Base here at the it's the Aerospace Valley Airshow. And the Edwards Air Force Base is actually about an hour north of Los Angeles. I'm going to be here all day. I wanted to do a live and bring you around and show you all the different craft here. It's really incredible. We have actually the spy plane that was made, the espionage plane that was made for the Top Gun movie is actually here as well. So I'll get to that in a minute. Let me go live, and looks like Sophia is about to take off.
The first set of 3 is airborne. And there is the second set, airborne. In about a few minutes, Dawn Patrol will rejoin in a Delta formation.
As you can see, there's some planes coming up in the distance here. The Sophia craft, the NASA Sophia craft has not taken off yet, but we have some planes coming up here. And unfortunately, I can't really zoom in with my screen here. So hopefully they come a little bit closer.
Will be rejoining into 1, 2, and 3. Will rejoin in a beautiful Delta formation.
You know what? While we're waiting to go live, let me start my intro and I'll get this thing started.
Get your cameras ready.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching the intro there. Sorry I had to start a little early because I want you to catch this, but looks like we got some fighter craft coming around here. If you can see that. I know, sorry, I can't zoom in.
Beautiful Delta formation. Crossing right over the top for a perfect photo opportunity in a Delta formation.
Yeah.
Smoke is off.
So apparently this is the Delta formation. Yeah, Leon, you said that. You got it. Leon the Wise here says Delta formation. Yes. I don't know what that means, but apparently it's what that is. Oh, here we go. They're turning back around. And it looks like we got the NASA Sophia craft that started at the beginning here is over here about to take off. So that's really exciting. Oh, look at that, guys. Woo!
Smoke is off, and they are transitioning to an aero formation. Man, these guys are so good. It almost looks weird.
This girl's a good announcer. Okay. Oh yeah. All right, they're coming back around. Woo!
Smoke is on, coming straight towards us in a beautiful aero formation.
Yeah, look at that, guys.
This is one of the best photos.
This is so exciting. I'm so glad I was able to come out here today. Woo! They are coming right over me. Wow.
Smoke is on, and they.
As you can see, the Sophia craft, the NASA Sophia craft, rolled out over there a little bit ago. So I think they're about ready to take off. I actually was able to get box tickets for this today. It's so funny. It actually started at 11:30. They were closing the gates. No one told me. So I was thinking like, oh, I'll just come in the middle of the event, you know. And as I was leaving, I read online that apparently, sorry it's a bit loud, apparently the gates here at the base were closing at 11:30 a.m., which when I was going to leave, my time said 11:37, and I wouldn't be allowed in if I, oh, check that out.
Keep in mind, they're flying at 200 miles per hour and pulling G's.
I don't know if you can hear what she just said. They're flying at 200 miles an hour, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, so apparently the gates were coming down at 11:30, and I got here. I was supposed to be getting here at 11:37. I went about 80 miles an hour on the highway, and I was able to get in right before they closed the gates. And man, coming in here and checking out this dry lake bed out here, I actually just got back from Burning Man recently, and the dry lake bed here is very much like it. It also reminded me a lot of going to Area 51, which I did a little while back, and I actually got to go through an area that you're not normally allowed to go through, so that was pretty cool.
This is for.
My YouTube channel, Apollo's Odyssey. I'm live right now.
Okay, sorry.
Apollo's Odyssey, check it out. Subscribe.
What?
Apollo's Odyssey.
Next will be a banana pass in a delta formation. Then it will be followed by a 360 degrees climbing turn for one final pass before the pitch up for landing. They have joined in a delta formation.
So there you go. That was the delta formation there. And yeah, so this is a really incredible event. So glad I was able to make it out. So basically, they actually have the Top Gun craft and an SR-71 Blackbird, which I will show you in a minute here. I'll get around to that, but I don't want you guys to miss these amazing formations. I know the NASA craft is about to take off soon. Woo!
Some of these guys have over 4,000 hours of formation time combined. Some of them come from a military background. Number 3, Randy.
So some of the people flying earlier, they've been actually describing all the pilots that are flying today. Some of them actually trained the stars for Top Gun, which is pretty cool. A lot of them are involved in a lot of other activities besides just being pilots. They even had some pilots that were, you know, ex-NASA aerospace engineers that created their own planes that are kind of different. Oh, check this out.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I'm so sorry, Leon. I cannot zoom in. I will try. This is the best I can do. I can't zoom in on my phone, so. Yeah, we have a little kid narrating here. It's pretty cool.
In a few minutes, they will come around for a 4G 2-second delay pitch up and separate Berlin.
Oh yeah, my backpack. And my wallet. My wallet. Do you say card? Looks like they're coming back around over here. So before I take you guys around to the SR-71 Blackbird and the spy plane that Lockheed created especially for the Top Gun movie, we actually are waiting for the NASA Sophia craft to take off here. So decided to check that out in a minute here.
Here they come.
And I just want to say I'm so grateful for Jim Goodall, the legend himself, Jim Goodall, Lockheed historian. Check out his books. Definitely check out his books. Jim Goodall actually, whoa, look at that. Oh my God. So Jim actually is the one that kind of introduced me to the SR-71 Blackbird in a lot of ways. And I've had him on my show many times. And he told me to come out today, so really happy I did. I was actually planning on going. I didn't realize it was happening this weekend. So thanks so much, Jim, if you're watching. It's really good to be out here. My family, a lot of my family was actually pretty high up in the military. Both my grandpas, one of my grandpas was in Vietnam. My other grandpa stormed the beaches of Normandy. He got 2 Purple Hearts and 4 Bronze Stars storming the beaches of Normandy. And he actually built his own airplane, and my grandma sewed the wings. Some of my uncles ended up becoming Air Force, not pilots for the Air Force, but they worked for the Air Force during the Cold War. So it's definitely something that is in my family, and man, I would absolutely love to try to join the Air Force's Space Force if it wasn't for the matter of harming people. I just want to be able to fly, so I'm hoping one day I can save up the money to actually get my own pilot's license. So it's really good to be out here today. I love this stuff. Oh, sorry, in here says Jim or Tim. I'm talking about Jim Goodall or James C. Goodall. You gotta check out his books. He's, I believe, written like 7, 8, 11 books, something like that, and most of them are actually for Lockheed Skunkworks and the history of Lockheed Skunkworks. Some of them are on the SR-71 Blackbird, which is really amazing. So I definitely recommend checking those out. His latest book was 75 Years of Lockheed Skunkworks. And what's amazing about the Edwards Air Force Base is that I believe they're mostly connected with Lockheed Skunkworks. I think there's a facility where they create craft for Lockheed Skunkworks either here or nearby. I'm not sure if it was on the base or nearby. There's actually a STEM Expo happening here today as well with booths from Lockheed and NASA, many individuals. I checked it out a little bit ago, so I'm going to take you guys all in there in a second. I'm actually waiting for this NASA Sophia craft to take off soon. I'm not really sure where that is.
They have ice cream there.
But yeah, maybe let's all have a look around.
Premium box seats, your own dedicated seat. You can come and go access throughout the day. It's still available. You get the tickets just outside the access to that too. Perhaps you'd like to upgrade your experience.
Sean, you know what? I think I'm going to check out the Darkstar right now. So everyone, the Darkstar, which is the craft that Lockheed created for the Top Gun movie, I believe it's just kind of a shell. You know, it's supposed to look like a top secret espionage craft. And you know what's interesting about the SR-71 Blackbird, for instance, is that they actually denied, our Air Force actually denied the, I guess basically the fact that it was around or invented for I believe almost 20 years before they actually released, like, yeah, we did have it the whole time. So, you know, that was years ago, so a few decades ago or more. So just think of what craft they have now. Obviously, there's probably a lot out there. A lot of people have been talking about the Aurora craft, which is what I believe Lockheed modeled this Darkstar craft that was in the Maverick from. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. You know, maybe I can try to get some answers out of some people here today. But, you know, it makes a lot of sense. You know, a lot of people kind of are like, well, why don't they just share what technology they have? But think about it. If it was like a, you know, spy, like espionage plane, they wouldn't want foreign powers to know what kind of aircraft that they have. You know, if they were able to create, say, for instance, some sort of anti-gravity aircraft, they wouldn't want foreign powers to know about that. So it makes sense. You know, I understand where they're coming from with that. And, you know, so maybe I think they're saying right now that NASA craft is about to come across. So in the meantime, maybe let's go check out the SR-71 Blackbird. Come on. You want to hold this for a second?
You know, I see generations here, and I love
You got it?
because we know what's next.
Are you-
How old are you?
Okay.
You're 11 too. So these two 11-year-olds, his dad is a photographer. Brayton now takes pictures that are better than some photographers.
So coming up here, we got the SR-71 Blackbird from Lockheed Skunkworks. And this is the craft that I just said James C. Goodall did some amazing books on, which I highly recommend. Definitely check those out. So I'm gonna take that. So here's a good close up on that. I wish they were flying this today. Apparently they're not. I was hoping they would actually fly it for us today, but you know, obviously it goes so high up into you know, the atmosphere or whatever that probably wouldn't make sense to fly it. But man, I really wish they could fly this today. That would be really incredible. And look at the engines on this thing. I just love how sleek it is, like how like slim and sleek looking it is. So amazing. All right, so actually on the other side of this, we're going to have the craft from Top Gun the Maverick. So let me take you around to that. There's a lot of other planes here. I don't know the story behind this one. I'm not aerospace historian like my good friend Jim Goodall, but I'll tell you as much as I can. Hopefully I'll get some interviews today. Here, can you, oh, sorry. All right, so now we're coming up on, these are the engines behind the SR-71 Blackbird, and you can see the Skunkworks logo there. You want to turn that around on that. And behind me, this is the Darkstar, which is the craft that Lockheed created for Top Gun, the movie, Maverick. And as you can see, it looks a lot like the SR-71 Blackbird. My suspicions are that they modeled it after this craft that everyone's been talking about more recently called the Aurora. I'm assuming it probably has something to do with that. Check this out. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Here, you want to hold this?
They could probably fly, but I'm not sure. This one
So what was this? Was controls, ladies and gentlemen?
No, it was a concept we studio came up with, and we helped make it.
Yes. Alright, so are you guys in charge of this craft? Are you part of the building process of this?
I think Brian is the guy that you just talked to.
Okay, I'll wait to talk to Brian.
Or David. Right here.
No, I can't talk to you. Ask you a few questions. So, were you in charge of
I'm not
this craft in any way?
in charge.
You're
Representative.
displaying it. Do you work for Lockheed?
I do work in Lockheed.
Amazing. What do you do for Lockheed?
I work in our visual communications organization. We do a lot of promotional materials for the products and systems that we develop, and involved in the work that we did with Darkstar here for the movie Top Gun Maverick.
Wow, that's amazing. So, is this the first air show that it's been shown at? It was my understanding that this is the first air show that's been brought to you so far since it was created.
It is the first air show, yeah. So we were involved in the production back in 2018, and essentially have been waiting for the right opportunity to be able to showcase this out here for the public. And it just happened the air show here at Edwards Air Force Base happened to be the best opportunity given the timing and proximity to our facility.
So does this craft actually fly, or is it kind of like a shell? I know it took off in the movie, but did it actually take off, or is it built around another craft, or I mean, what's the whole story behind that?
So the movie producers came to our team at Lockheed Martin. They had an idea for what they wanted to show Maverick doing as a test pilot, having moved on from his career within the Navy. And they wanted to show some leading edge technology that he was involved in developing. Essentially, they wanted, without having an actual flying aircraft to use, create something that was at least conceivable as whether it could fly, even though it didn't. So the article that you see here is ultimately, it is just a movie prop. It's not meant to actually fly. But our team of engineers and designers helped the production company potentially work in some of the fine details that added a sense of reality to it, where otherwise, I don't know what the outcome would have been if it went with anybody else.
Well, obviously, I'm sure they have a lot of craft right now that they can't share with the world, but it looks to me like they kind of modeled it off the idea of the SR-71 Blackbird in a way.
Yeah, I think you can see there's certainly some inspiration and lineage from the SR-71 that you see here, the twin engine, dual nacelles, and the vertical tails, and even the cockpit integration that you see here. Yeah, certainly had a lot of familiar aspects out of that real flying aircraft put into, what is this conceptual idea.
Amazing. So earlier I heard someone was announcing that a lot of these companies here today, the STEM Expo, are looking for younger people that may be wanting to join some of these aerospace agencies. Do you have any advice for anyone that's maybe younger that wants to join, Lockheed or these different corporations, like maybe, some advice in getting started, or where, what positions may be opening up in the future?
Yeah, I'd say if you're in grade school, high school, definitely, focus your time and attention on your STEM activities, subjects, your science, math, technology. As much as you may not think that you would be using those things when you're in school, a lot of that as a foundation for, what it takes to come and work for Lockheed Martin and produce a lot of the amazing products that we do. And so obviously, if anybody's looking for a job, you can go to LockheedMartinJobs.com and see available openings, whether it be local here in Southern California, or across the nation, or even the world.
Amazing. And one final question before I go here. So, in regards to disclosure in the latest, the Space Force coming out, over the past year and starting, and, so much coming out in regards to UAPs, like UFO technology. I'm curious to know, what do you think the future is in aerospace engineering? Will there be a lot of new craft coming out soon? Do you think, are we going to become a spacefaring civilization soon? Do you have anything to say on that?
I'd say that, I think in the spirit of our organization, Skunkworks, we look to develop or solve our world's greatest problems. We primarily center them around aviation, defense, but there's a lot that I think a lot of people out there with a lot of will and resources that have shown that anything is possible if you put your mind, your heart to it. So I don't know what is next to come. That is ultimately up to others to decide. But yeah, we are certainly willing to help them solve their toughest problems.
Thank you so much, Dave. I'm Apolla. Great to
Thank
meet
you.
you. You were
Nice
just
to meet
on Apolla's Odyssey YouTube channel.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. All right, guys. That was really awesome. So here's a better look at that from far away here. I think that's so. Did the Sophia craft just take off? Is that what they were saying just now? Oh, apparently we missed the Sophia craft taking off, or maybe it's about to. Do you know if it was about to take off, or do we miss it? Well, the Maverick is much more interesting anyway. So.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, okay. So here's the NASA craft, Sophia. What was the story behind that? I believe, I don't know if this is what they were talking about earlier today, but apparently NASA has been working on trying to reduce the sound barrier, or, you know, basically the noise from the sound barrier. Basically, the main problem with having, you know, basically aircraft that we can take, you know, to as like a more spacefaring aircraft to go, you know, between countries or between states. The main problem with not being able to do that right now with a craft like such as the Concorde, which they've had before, is obviously the sound barrier. You know, obviously that's something that is kind of an issue, and really we would be able, they already have patents for craft that could make it from LA to New York in 7 minutes, from what I've heard at conferences before. Here they just mentioned 2 hours, but I've seen that they have patents for it actually going from LA to New York in 7 minutes with this kind of craft. The only thing that's keeping them from doing this, though, is obviously the sound barrier can be a major problem in communities. So apparently this craft Sophia that I just showed you all just now is NASA's way of working on making a sound, an aircraft that would be not quite as loud of a sound barrier. So apparently they were able to reduce it almost in half with the technology they have now, and hopefully they can change that and you know, obviously work on that and make it a little better in the future. So pretty cool. Thank you.
It's not just a flat plate.
Just looking at some of the comments here, Pano here said, yes, they use sleek plasma glass over the wings for stealth silent mode. I did not know about that. That's pretty cool. Makes a lot of sense to me. You know, I kind of have had a lot of suspicions from really different downloads I've had. I actually had a plasma ball of light come to me in my craziest UFO paranormal experience. I know I talk about that on my show all the time, but that's something that I experienced before, and I feel that there's a lot with plasma technology that we don't quite understand yet that we're tapping into more in the coming future. So I think that's something that we need to unlock, and I think it'll be really interesting when we are able to do that. I think this is some sort of fighter jet I'm walking around right now. You want to walk towards the summer show? All right. I think I'm gonna go check out this STEM show. So I wanted to bring you all in here. It's pretty amazing because I think it's kind of a lot of the reason why they're doing this today is actually kind of more for recruitment purposes, getting younger people involved and interested in aerospace engineering and, you know, the military, Space Force. So they actually have booths today from the Space Force, NASA, you know, obviously people that work at the Air Force Base here, Lockheed. So I'm gonna go around and check this out. Earlier today, actually, when we were pulling up, they had they were actually dropping bombs or missiles when they were flying over. Unfortunately, I missed that, but I saw it from far away. It was pretty fascinating. It actually took a very long time to roll up here. We had to go through the desert, this dry lake bed for a very long time before actually getting to the base. Normally, apparently, it's off limits to anyone that isn't Air Force personnel, but today they opened it up, which I think is pretty cool. I didn't really realize it was actually going to be on the base like this. I didn't realize the base was basically kind of similar to Area 51. If you haven't seen the show, I did. I filmed one of the first episodes I posted on my channel. Oh, there's the NASA Sophia crowds. Wow. That was a great flyover. I don't know if you guys caught that. Amazing. Okay, so just walking over to the expo now, you guys are really gonna love this. Let me just go around here. Do you know what kind of planes these are over here? Oh, we got a flight simulator over here. Oh my god, that's pretty awesome. Ooh. Wow, it's pretty cool. So they actually have a lot of people, a lot of military personnel out here demonstrating things. Earlier, I believe I filmed something of them basically talking about how they, I believe, attach the missiles to the craft. It was pretty interesting. So just bear with me here. I am coming up on this expo over here. We have it in the hangar just around the corner here. They're about to take off the F-35s, or is that what this is? Okay. So apparently these are the F-35s up here. I believe these people are in here waiting in line to go inside the
F-22.
Oh, F-22. That's an F-22. So these people here are waiting to go inside. Definitely gonna have to get me some souvenirs. Where's the STEM show at?
It's a ways.
Okay. Yeah, just bear with me here. It's a bit of a walk. What do we have here? Oh, that's a drone? Wow. Like this craft over here is a drone. That's pretty interesting. Get a close up on this. I like this comment. Wish Wiggler says, act like a foreign intel agent around the F-22. Funny, that's a good one. Oh. Sorry. Ooh. So people are actually waiting in line to get in some of this crap. That's pretty cool. I don't want to bore you guys with waiting in line here, but man, I would like to get in some of these and check that out. Oh, okay.
He's out today. Still managed to have World War II countries come out because they didn't want to. They love moments like this. You listen to that in incredible rage.
If anyone's fine.
I don't know if you're hearing what this guy on the announcement is saying right now, but basically he's saying that applauding some of the World War II veterans that are here today. They're still here, and he was just saying that a lot of them, there aren't many left. A lot of them have passed on, and it's definitely true. I have many people I was close with, including both my grandfathers, passed away recently in the last few years, and I think there aren't really many of them left here. So I'm actually reading a spy book right now called The Spy Next Door, and it's actually set in that time. Very interesting. Highly recommend checking that out. Ooh, what do we have here? Oh, we got a Lockheed craft over here. That's pretty cool. Can I sit in this? Are you supposed to be able to sit in it and try it out, you think? You sure? I guess, okay. Alright, let's keep going.
The P-51D Mustang.
Check out these crafts lined up over here.
Oh,
Got something coming up here. Oh, what's that? That's a World War II jet, they were saying?
There's also a remote air raid spot. They used to build this Hollywood's British private Gulfstream. Honored to report for all of you here.
Wow, look at that. So many amazing Lockheed craft here. Like I said earlier, I believe Lockheed either has a area on the base here, from my understanding, or somewhere nearby where they have a facility where they work on craft. I don't think it's their main headquarters. Maybe I'm wrong, but pretty cool stuff. So they have a lot of them here. Ooh, look at that. It's a World War II. That was pretty cool. So now we're coming up on the hangar that the STEM Expo is in. This is going to be really interesting. I can't wait to get some cool interviews in here. Like I said, they have booths from NASA, Space Force, Lockheed. So it should be interesting. Isn't that water? All right. It's a cool jet right there. So I actually have a lot of friends that live in this community up here of Lancaster, California. Basically, most people that live up here, it's about an hour north of LA. Ooh, look at that. So most of the people in this community are part of Edwards Air Force Base. And I actually have one friend whose dad, a good friend of mine, her father was the Air Force One pilot for Lyndon B. Johnson. I had the pleasure of meeting him up here a couple years ago, and he told me a lot of stories from back when he flew for the Air Force One for Lyndon B. Johnson. and he's stationed up here because of the base, but he passed away recently. Obviously, he was getting up there in years, but I had the pleasure of hearing some really incredible stories from him before he passed away. So is this the museum, or is the museum somewhere else around here?
Somewhere else.
Huh. Pretty cool that you can actually get in the jets and walk around and check them out on the inside. Hopefully I can at least get a couple later. Is this a World War II jet, I'm assuming? Definitely that one is. Alright, so we are coming up in the STEM Expo now. Alright, so we are coming up in the hangar now, and we're going to check out some of these booths. Like I said, there's from many different aerospace agencies here, so this is going to be pretty interesting. I think a lot of people in here are trying to get out of the sun. It's actually really hot out there today. Pretty blazing hot, so good to get out of the sun. Check out the schedule right here. All right, so apparently they actually have some speakers on a stage over here. I saw it earlier, and these are some of the people speaking. We have the test pilot, astronaut. Oh, what time is he speaking? Oh, this is in military time. Right. Computer engineer. All right. So these are the booths we got here today. It looks like we got NASA, some robotics, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Northrop. All right, it's gonna be cool. Joe says blazing hot. Can you say that again? Man, I'm telling you, it is blazing hot out there. It really is. I'm sweating. All right. So it looks like we have some flight simulators over here. That's pretty cool. Maybe we can do some of that on the live here. So we have some speakers coming up here. I know an astronaut will be speaking in a little while later. So that's pretty cool stuff. Look at these engines. So this is a F10 turbofan engine. General Electric. 7. Wow. So I'm going to read this off for you all here. I think it says a jet engine operates on the same basic principles as a four-stroke engine found in automobiles: intake, compression, combustion, exhaust. The main difference is the timing of these events. While an automobile engine performs the 4 steps one at a time, the jet engine operates by continually performing the events at once. Maybe I can find someone to explain this. Do you think one of these guys work for this? All right, let me see if I can get someone to explain this.
She's like, oh, I'm getting them back. Yeah. You, the Rep 15 or your Rep 18? No, actually, I'm on ER2. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on ER2. Out of Palmdale. Yeah. You know, I learned, I was like, I'm a flight out there with them.
All right, I'll come back.
I love your bit. It's super cool.
Thank you. You hold this one. Just want to get one of them to.
Yeah, special treat.
Are any of you in charge of this? No? Okay.
I know, man. I know. But anyways, it was good seeing you, sir. Always. Have a good one.
Are you in charge of what's going on here?
Yes.
So what do you have here?
I'm the propulsion flight chief for the engine shop here on Edwards.
Oh, wow.
That's my job.
So what exactly, so you're an aerospace engineer?
No, I'm a flight chief, a manager of all the people who build jet engines on the base here today.
Can you explain some of these to me for my audience here?
Sure, I can do that. I can do it after the people move out of the way. Okay. Let's get them closer. I'm going to get on this side so it works better this way. Okay. This is a J85 turbojet engine. It was originally manufactured by General Electric. They continue to manufacture engines to this day. That engine over there is an F-101 out of a B-1 that's manufactured by GE, and this one is out of an F-16, an F-110 manufactured by GE. This is one of the early engines, probably designed in the late 1950s and produced through the 60s and 70s. What this is a turbojet engine, so there's no bypass. There's just one spool of compressor and turbine. It's got an 8-stage compressor here. So the air comes in here, and it's like at 0 PSI. It's not pressurized. And through every stage of compression, the pressure builds in it. So it builds up here, so it comes out here at the end. It's about 80 PSI, okay? So it's higher, much higher pressure. That's when this thing is spinning around 16,500 RPM, okay?
These look like mini propellers.
Well, exactly. That's they're to move air. They're to push air. So between every compressor stage, there's a stator stage. So it redirects that air onto the stage behind it, okay? So that's how the pressure builds up. So what you have here, after you get your 80 PSI here, you have an igniter plug right here, and you have fuel nozzles all the way around the engine, except for the spot where they're cut away. But so you inject all that fuel into this combustion chamber right here, okay? And then all that combustion expansion hits these turbine blades here. So the turbine blades, if you put more fuel in here, it hits those turbine blades harder, right? So it spins the engine faster, so keeping you at that 16,500 RPM. So when this thing is going that fast, the exit air produces about 2,400 pounds of thrust when you're at mil power. But these engines go in a T-38 aircraft over there. You see the ED tail on the gray one? Okay, so that's a supersonic trainer. This engine, that thrust from this action is not enough to move that plane supersonic. So they have something on the back of it called an afterburner. And that's what this is. This section all the way on back is an afterburner. What it has is it has fuel injected here, okay, and another igniter plug right up here. So what happens is this engine runs at 16,500 RPM, but back here we start injecting fuel again and we ignite it, and this area all here is a gigantic combustion chamber, just like this one, but it's gigantic here. And after the end of that, it produces around 3,850 pounds of thrust, and that is enough to make those T-38s go about 800 miles an hour. Okay? Do you have any questions? Any other questions about it?
How many of these are on one craft?
Well, a T-38 has two engines each. So, yeah, and there's still probably about 500 T-38s flying around in the Air Force. So a lot of them. This is
much more advanced.
Oh yes, this engine is just used for us to explain to the public how jet engines work. Basically, this is very old. We still work on this type of engine in the shop, but there have been at least 1,000 upgrades to the engine, throughout the years since the early '60s to now. There've been many upgrades, and well, it was probably the very late 50s, 1950s, because we have T-38 aircraft that were produced in the very early 60s, and they had these engines in them. Okay, you can see it was qualified in June of 1962, but there have been many advances to it. It's been a great engine for you taxpayers, and you've definitely got your money out of it. Right now, it flies about 1,800 hours between major overhaul inspections. So it's pretty good. We get a lot of time out of them. Normally a T-38 will fly 3 flights a day. And so it's like 15 hours in a week, and it just keeps going. They're very, very reliable, good engines. Okay? Nice talking to you, too. Good luck to you. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Great. Oh, sorry. I need to be more aware of where I put my mic. All right. I love this. Amazing. Sure. So it looks like someone will probably be coming up to speak here soon. I know astronauts coming up to speak. Some other people. So that should be interesting. Just get situated here. Oh, we got the Lockheed. Here, let's check this out. Yeah. Oh, we got a whole area going on over here. Okay. Definitely have to check this out. Whoa. Okay, this is pretty cool. We got a little flight simulator going on over here. Oh, check out these models right here. Woo! That's pretty cool. Oh, I was gonna go, filming for me, walked away. Maybe he'll be back. Okay, that's pretty cool stuff right there. Whoa!
It's spoilers for the next movie. Look, he's actually, this is Dream. He's gonna put his gun. No more face reveal. Darker Star. Darkstar was the movie, but you know,
Yeah,
there's always
I
another.
saw that out there. Pretty cool stuff. Wow.
Hey, you know what? We can add him to the plane too.
You
Just call Lord Farquaad. I'll put it on the plane.
you work for Lockheed?
I work for Lockheed. Yes, sir.
You mind if I ask you a few questions?
Sure. I don't know a lot.
So,
Well, you know what? We should play this. What has Lockheed question?
who's that? What exactly do you do for Lockheed?
I work here in Palmdale. I'm working in Palmdale. Oh yeah, make airplanes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you're like,
Why don't we talk to
who do you want me to talk to?
Yeah, well, you should actually.
Okay, I'll talk to them. But what do you do with the planes here? That's so awesome. Okay. Who did you say to talk to?
St. Patrick.
Hey.
I don't know if that's going to be one of the materials.
Okay. Okay, definitely gonna have to take a couple of these. Yeah. Oh, who do we have speaking over here?
When I was in high school, I was an engineer, a scientist. I was always interested in these STEM fields. I never would have said that. But when I was in university, I got a hold of some of the bios of some of the astronauts that NASA had just selected. And there were scientists, and there were engineers in there. They weren't all test pilots. And I saw people that looked like me doing this, and that changed everything, right? And so that said, you know what, I'm going to go after this, and I'm going to submit that application. And I did. And NASA proved that, failure is an option down there in Houston because they picked me for some reason. I'm very happy they did. Another question, yes. Well, some people say I studied in college. When I was an undergrad, I was kind of hedging my bets. I was a dual major between engineering, as mechanical engineering, and business management. But I found that accounting.
I should definitely do that. I want to bring it up at some point.
And find a whole heart to it.
All right, let's keep walking around here.
Not my thing. But the engineering, all the technical classes, I absolutely loved it. So I went on to grad school and then went on to get my master's PhD here at Caltech in Pasadena, here in California. All the
Is this where we sign up to become a test pilot?
The actual test pilot is like right there, but we're staff. I'm an engineer. He's a program manager, contractor. But yeah, this is our stand for test pilot school essentially. So.
Wow. So what are the requirements to sign up if you want to become one?
Broadly across all the different branches, you got to be a qualified pilot with some years of experience to be a test pilot specifically. You can be a combat systems officer or an engineer, and you'll be accepted to one of the schools, so Navy or Air Force or any of the other schools. But primarily, they look for some years of experience as well as science or engineering background. So bachelor's, preferably also master's in science or engineering.
So is this just for this base, just to sign up for this base, or is it for a certain company?
Sorry, well,
is this to sign up as a test pilot for this base here, or for a different company?
The specific one is for if you want to be a test pilot in the Air Force, or a flight test engineer in the Air Force, or a test combat systems officer in the Air Force. So, yeah, if you're taught here, you'll generally be sent to an Air Force assignment regarding tests, which can also be here. There's also other areas that the Air Force does test in Florida, Eglin, or at Nellis in near Vegas, Nevada. But there's tests happening all over the U.S. in different branches, Navy, also private corporations. So.
Do you guys actually are they setting up people for test pilots for the Space Force yet?
So yeah, that's actually one of the large projects Air Force DPS at Edwards is trying to do, is trying to build up a curriculum for Space Force. We already have one that's developing, that's already been around for 2 years, but that's sort of a smaller curriculum, and we're trying to expand that so that it can be a essentially one-on-one complement to the traditional Air Force side. We have the Space Force side as well. So.
Wow. So I was curious to know, is the Space Force basically going to become, is the Air Force essentially going to end up becoming the Space Force, or are they going to stay kind of two different divisions?
That is probably a congressional or policy level specific answer, so I can't give a yes or no to that, but I can say that right now they are our sister service, so we are distinct, but we work very closely together. So all of our budgets are still almost entirely intertwined. All of our support services are intertwined. All of our operations are still very much intertwined. So even though we are distinct, we still work very closely together. So that's about pretty much all I can say as far as the split goes. Like, further than that, you'll have to ask your congressman or something. I have no idea.
Oh, that's incredible. Really, really amazing talking with you. Actually, one more question. How do you feel about all the UAPs and the UAP task force coming out in the government right now? UAPs, UFO, unidentified aerial phenomena.
All those coming out. Pretty much all I can say is that if you see a UFO flying around, I mean, there may or may not be something to do with flight tests. I mean, like, you know, the history with Area 51 and whatnot. But further than that, honestly, government keeps everything it does under wraps. So even I'm in the dark, and even if I knew, I can't say. So yeah.
Good talking with you. It's like a map of the base here. Ooh, we got NASA over here. Oh. What? Oh wow! So the first woman on the moon is gonna be with the Artemis mission. I like that. I like the sound of that. All right. Okay, it looks like we got some space boots here. That's pretty cool. Check these out. Oh, those ones are pretty sweet. I like those ones right there. These ones are kind of fashionable. Wow. Artemis 1, the first flight test of NASA's Orion spacecraft or Space Launch System rocket. So I guess these are the boots for the first launch, or they're going to put the first woman on the moon. I like that it's called the Artemis mission. That's pretty cool. Wow. Got some boot designs over here. That's pretty sweet. Oh, here's the Orion spacecraft that's going to be under the Artemis mission. Wow, look at that. It's the Gateway, Human Landing System, Space Launch System rocket, Exploration Ground Systems, Artemis Base Camp. Dang. Okay, this is pretty cool, guys. So it says here, with the Artemis missions, NASA will land the first woman, first person of color on the moon. We will establish the first long-term presence on the moon. Then we will use what we learn on and around the moon to take the next giant leap, sending the first astronauts to Mars. We're going back to the moon to learn how to live in deep space and explore further than humans ever have been before. Oh my God, you guys. Check out that Artemis base camp. Holy crap. Look at that. Wow, this is so cool. Okay, I definitely need to talk to someone here. That's for sure. Suited and booted. What's going on here?
We are doing the Artemis program experience. Basically, we have folks come up, scan the QR code, and follow it. There's like a 7-question quiz, and at the end of the quiz, it'll tell you which pair of boots you need to fly in our program. So as you come through, when you get done, come see me, and I will make sure you get a pin to go home with.
Okay, I definitely need to do this. I definitely want to join the Artemis mission. So what do I do here?
We got this great little book here that's illustrated with the first woman to go into space. So come join us.
So how do I start this?
Well, it's better to walk through because the network isn't doing so well with everybody out here right now. So just take a walk through and review what the material on the wall, and we'll get you tied in up there.
Okay, cool. So then I can get a pen after I walk through it?
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right.
And you can also stop and take pictures with the boots.
Oh, sweet. All right. Well, okay. So apparently, if I walk through and check this all out, then I get to join the Artemis mission and get some boots. So obviously, we just kind of walked through here and went through this already, but let's see here. Boots, ground boots. Okay. Oh, wow. So this is interesting. It says suppliers in all 50 states are working on the Artemis programs. More than 700 small businesses, more than half of which are minority, women, or veteran owned. More than 2,000 companies across America work with NASA on Team Artemis. Okay. And so obviously we went through these already, but okay, so let's see here. The ground boots looks like that's what these ones are right here. Operates NASA's spaceport and assembles the rocket on its path to the launch pad. Rocket boots, it's right here. Engineers the space launch system rocket for human space travel. Spacecraft boots. There creates advanced life support systems for deep space and well-being. Then we got the suit boots. I think I like those ones the best. That's for exploring the moon and Mars. I think I want the suit boots. I'm gonna have to get suited and booted, you guys. What do you think? Moon boots, Star Adventurer, explores deep space for scientific discovery and innovation. I don't see those on here. Oh, maybe that's those ones, I guess. Okay. Landing boots ensures the team's safety on Earth, the moon, and Mars. I gotta get some boots here.
Just sit down for a minute over there.
Okay.
Did you get one?
No, sir.
Oh, we're gonna have to fix that.
How did you want, baby?
About a spacecraft.
I think I want some moon boots.
You want some moon
Yeah.
boots? All right. There's
Those
a
are pretty
beautiful moon boots
sweet.
for you.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Great day.
Yeah. All right, got the moon boots over here. We use those to get back on the moon. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I think you're right about that. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna ask this. Can I ask you a question?
I'm sorry?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
All right. I was just wondering why we haven't been back to the moon yet, and when can we plan to go again?
Well, we're trying to go that we're trying to figure that out right now. Our next mission to orbit the moon is happening on the 14th, hopefully, of November.
No way! Wow, that's soon. And so that's the Artemis mission.
Artemis 1 is going to go around the moon in a high trajectory.
So what? That's on the Orion craft. Am I correct? The Orion space.
SLS rocket with the Orion spacecraft, and it should return, and we should get some good data on how it all works.
Wow, that's really incredible. So are you basically recruiting people here for the mission, or is this just kind of for fun for kids?
It's a way to engage with the public and get them interested in what we're doing. We like to, sure, if we can recruit good people through this medium, why not?
So I was reading on here, this mission is going to be sending the first woman to the moon.
The plan is when we do go back to the moon, we will send the first woman to the moon. And we're building the lander right now. Actually, SpaceX is building the lander.
So you're working with SpaceX to build this. It's incredible. So, and also I was reading over there that you guys are working on a base to build on the moon, the Artemis base.
I think that is in the plans. Yeah. And it makes sense because it's easier to get out of lunar orbit than it is to get out of Earth orbit.
Definitely, definitely. You know, I actually work for Third Face of Moon. It's a UFO news network, and we do a lot with disclosure. And I've always been curious about asteroid mining. I feel going to the moon would be a great way to have a base to go out and start asteroid mining. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I think it's probably a good idea. I'm not a rocket scientist myself, but I mean, why not? I mean, we've already found water ice on the moon, so if we can mine that, use it as rocket fuel to go further places, that'd be great.
So what exactly do you do for NASA? You work for NASA or communications?
I do. I'm a model builder. I make models of spacecraft.
Oh, that's really amazing. So you probably have a lot of projects that you've been working on. You probably can't talk about a lot of those too, huh? You can talk about them?
Basically, is publicly facing stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
So are there some projects that are going to be coming out soon here, like revealed to the public soon?
I'm working on a model of a joint JPSS, joint polar satellite system. It's going to monitor the weather at the poles. It's the weather at the poles of the Earth, North and South Pole. So I'm making models for that program for their use. So yeah.
It was really great talking to you. What's your name again?
Aaron Stanfield.
Aaron, nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Wow, I just love this logo. Oh my God. As a lot of you probably know, I have a huge obsession with Artemis, Goddess Artemis, so that's really cool. I'm excited. I'm just gonna ask some of those questions. I don't want to be disrespectful here, you guys. You guys are pretty funny though. All right, well, I've been going live for a little while now, so I think I'm gonna just go over here and get some footage of these rockets over here, and then I'll sign off. All right, pretty cool stuff. Ooh. All right, everyone. Well, I've been on for a little over an hour here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. It was really great seeing you all in the comments tonight, and hopefully I can get some footage and put something else together for you all to share. But I wanted to give you a little live and in-person view of what I'm experiencing today, and it's great to be here. Definitely want to maybe do more of these, make some connections. So definitely really exciting stuff. Good to be here. And next Wednesday, I believe, I'll be doing a show with Carrie Cassie from Project Camelot, and we'll be doing part 2 of our transhumanism episode. So please join me tomorrow Wednesday, and I hope to see you then. All right, guys. Bye. Over and out.